What if I told you there's a way to make even the hardest fights in Block Tales feel completely winnable, and most players have no idea how? Call cards can completely shift the momentum of a battle, but only if you're using the right ones. Some of them are secretly overpowered, while others are a total waste of SP. In today's video, I'm ranking every call card in Block Tales Demo 4, from the weakest all the way to the absolute best, so you'll know exactly which ones to bring into your build and which ones to leave behind. So let's jump in. At number 5 we have Call Gorilla. Call Gorilla is the absolute worst card in the game. With only 6 HP plus 1 HP per level and just 1 defense, this card can't withstand the pressure of pretty much any battle, and its single attack only deals 2 damage, which is extremely weak compared to the stronger call cards you'll unlock later on. Despite its obvious weaknesses, Gorilla does have a few quirks that might earn it a spot in your loadout early in the game. For only 3 SP per card, it is by far the cheapest card you can deploy. It also requires just 2 BP, allowing you to fill out your build without sacrificing BP slots for a higher tier card. What really sets Gorilla apart is its ability to be recalled after defeat. After the update for Ghostwalker, you can now double your dodge boost if either you or Gorilla are being attacked. However, these benefits are overshadowed by Gorilla's low defense and low offense. Even if you call Gorilla 3 times in a row, you're spending 9 SP in total. You'll only amass 18 HP, which still pales in comparison next to mid-tier cards. Also, each call consumes a turn, and in tight battles, those lost turns can mean the difference between victory and a wipe. Against bosses, Gorilla will crumble instantly. In practice, you might use Gorilla as an early game tool, letting you melee or unleash special moves while you're still building SP reserves. You could also attempt to cheese dodge-based strategies by tricking single target enemies into focusing on Gorilla. All that said, Gorilla's usefulness is extremely narrow. It's fun to watch it block attacks, and it can help you scrape by in the early demos, but it won't carry you through the mid-game or endgame. When you find yourself staring down tough enemies or cramped for turns, you'll really wish you had a better call card. Next up, we'll look at a card you actually want to invest in. At number 4 we have Call Red and Blue. Now this is the first call card most players unlock, appearing the moment you rescue them in Demo 3. It costs 3 BP to slot into your build and only 5 SP to call, making it a super affordable option. When summoned, Red and Blue brings 10 HP plus 2 additional HP per level and delivers 2 attacks each turn, effectively mirroring the damage output of a 10 SP card against unprotected enemies while using only half the SP. In the early stages of any run, you're going to be grateful to save your SP. You can call Red and Blue multiple times repeatedly, unleashing a steady stream of blows without draining your SP reserves. When fighting low defense mobs, or when you're low on SP potions, Call Red and Blue continuously provides offense. But in drawn-out battles, especially against bosses or high defense mobs, it can fall in just a few hits, often leaving you exposed at the worst possible moment. When that happens, you'll find yourself wishing you had banked the extra SP for a tougher, longer-lasting ally. Pro players quickly learn that spending 10 SP on a better call card can actually save both turns and SP in the long run. A better call card could outlast 2 or 3 calls of Red and Blue. That's why Call Red and Blue lands at number 4 on this list. But still, if your strategy revolves around spamming calls, or if you're invested heavily in SP recovery builds, Red and Blue can totally be a great option. Up next, we'll take a look at a call card designed specifically to endure those grueling, spam-filled battles. If you made it this far into the video, make sure to like and subscribe. When this channel reaches 1,000 subscribers, I will give Roblox gift cards to 10 lucky subscribers. At number 3 we have Call Calypso. Now Call Calypso joins your team near the end of Demo 4 in the Temple of the Red Sun, and she costs 4 BP to actually include in your build. Each time you call her, you spend 10 SP. When she arrives, she has a massive 15 HP, and she gains 3 HP per level. She wields dual flintlocks that consistently have a high probability of hitting the target. Her battle cry is what really makes her shine. Activating it instantly heals her for 10 HP. It also cuts all incoming damage in half for the next 2 turns. This makes her almost impossible to knock out during long fights. In drawn out, spam heavy battles, you will really see her value. And she's able to take on hit after hit that would one-shot most other call cards. You can focus on launching your specials or healing yourself without worrying about your backup falling. But just so you know, her flintlocks do not pierce high defense. They also lack burst damage, so foes with really high defense are going to be hard to beat. Up next, we turn to raw damage and crowd control, with my number 2 pick, Cruel King. Call Cruel King unlocks just after you finish Demo 1. He costs 4 BP to include in your build, and each time you call him, you spend 10 SP. When he appears, he has 10 HP and he gains 3 HP per level. He has 2 distinct attacks. The first is Scepter Smack. It deals 5 damage to a random enemy but does not pierce defense. The second is Scepter Strike. It hits every enemy on the field for 3 damage. It also freezes them and adds 1 extra damage when frozen. This causes frozen enemies to skip their next turn. Cruel King is the best against groups of enemies. His Scepter Strike can clear entire waves of mobs in a single turn, and it can deal up to 16 damage total when you land the extra freeze damage. He also disrupts enemy patterns by forcing them to skip turns. This makes him incredibly invaluable in the pit. But he struggles against single high defense foes because his attacks can't pierce armor, and of course he does little damage to enemies with freeze immunity. Many players use special moves to group enemies together, and then they call Cruel King to wipe them out. You can turn a fight around with just one well-timed call. Up next, for number 1, Call Griefer. Now, Call Griefer is my number 1 pick for the best call card in Block Tales. You unlock him after curing him from the effects of the Venom Shank, which happens after Demo 3. Like the top tier cards before him, he costs 4 BP to add to your build, and 10 SP to call into battle. When you bring him in, he has 10 HP and gains 3 HP per level. What puts Griefer at the top is how much utility he packs into every turn. His first attack deals 5 damage, pierces through enemy defense, and also applies poison that lasts for 5 turns. That means even if you're up against tanky enemies, he's doing damage that sticks. His second ability is even more useful. He steps in to take hits for you, heals himself for 3 HP, and clears any negative status effects he has. It's one of the most well-rounded abilities in the game. Griefer is all about keeping you alive. While Calypso focuses on protecting herself, Griefer protects you. While Cruel King wipes out waves, Griefer chips away at the enemy with poison while making sure you don't get knocked out. He works especially well in hard boss battles where survival is the priority. So while every call card has its strengths and ideal use cases, Griefer is the one that consistently gives you offense, defense, and support all in one. That's why he takes my number 1 spot on the list for the best call card. So to quickly recap, at number 5 is Call Gorilla, the cheapest but weakest option. At number 4 is Call Red and Blue, strong for its cost and great if you're low on SP. At number 3 is Call Calypso, durable and reliable for long drawn-out fights. At number 2 is Call Cruel King, best for dealing with multiple enemies at once. And at number 1, the best spot on the list, is Call Griefer, the most well-rounded call card in the game with both offense and defense built in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Block Tale guides. And if you want to keep going, YouTube's recommending a video I think you'll really enjoy.